Hi, my name is Milena, and I'm a master's student here in Business Administration in TEDxLeedsBeckettUniversity. And today I am going to talk about a topic that is very close to my heart, sustainability, and an initiative about climate education. In 2013, I was part of a volunteer program in Malaysia. We were a group of volunteers from all over Southeast Asia, and we came and did various community projects, including beach cleanup, school program, craft, and recycle, with the aims to raise the awareness of the people there and minimize the pollution in the coastal communities called Mersing. It was a life-changing experience for me, not only because it was my first trip ever abroad, but it's also because I've met so many inspiring people there who care for the environment. And also every day I woke up next to beautiful nature, the beach. My love for the environment starts from there. In 2015, I was a part of the group of international environmental advocates, journalists, artists, joining a climate leaders program in Vietnam. The program took place in locations called Ha Long Bay. And if you may know, Ha Long Bay is one of the most famous tourist destinations in Vietnam, and is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Yet, when we were there, we saw beautiful Ha Long Bay, but we also see a lot of trash, a lot of polluted water, and many coal power plants in the area. As a developing country, Vietnam still relies a lot in coal and fossil fuels, and it is actually one of the top countries in the world that is most affected by climate change. It came to my realizations that the reason why this all happened was because people don't really understand and they don't really know what climate change is about. And when people don't really understand and they don't know, they don't really care. Because when you care about something, you want to protect it and you want to act for it. In 2020, I got introduced to an initiative called Climate Fresk. Founded in France, Climate Fresk is a collaborative workshop and a science-based workshop that aims to raise the awareness and understand the climate change and the impacts of what climate change brings to our human life. And the idea is simple. There are 42 cards, and each card represents a cause or a consequence of climate change. Now, this year, the UK experienced one of the extreme heat waves in history. In 2020, Australia experienced one of the biggest forest fires, also in history. Flood and hurricanes happened every year in Vietnam and Southeast Asia. We may heard all about that, but do you really understand why they're all happening? Now, you don't have to read the 2,000 pages of reports of IPCC reports to understand what climate change is about. In 3 hours, you can learn about climate science in a Climate Fresk workshop. So the workshop actually has 4 phases: understanding and reasoning, creativity, reflection and recap, discussion and brainstorming ideas. I was so captivated by the idea of Climate Fresk, and I thought to myself, wow, climate education is finally here. And it's time to do something. So I signed up to become a facilitator of Climate Fresk in Vietnam. And I ran various workshops in places, in schools and universities and communities events. Up till now, there are 500,000 people in the world has completed the workshop in over more than 50 countries. And it's actually, Climate Fresk is also part of the UN Climate Conference of Youth this year in the COP27 in Egypt. What I found fascinating about Climate Fresk workshop is the fact that it could be played anywhere and at any time. You can play it with your family and friends, but you can also run it in schools, universities, different organizations, and companies. It's actually a powerful tool for climate education. One of the key lessons that you can learn from the Fresk is that everything happening in the world right now is actually starts from us, human. Everything is related, and we are the core to it. So understanding about climate change is actually empower us to take action. It doesn't have to be big things. It could actually be small things in our everyday life that we have the power to do it, to make a better place. For example, you can choose to ride a bike to uni, or you can choose to eat less meat, or plant a tree, or reduce the use of plastic. It's actually in our power of control. And it's time for more awareness spreading. So when I came to Leeds, I think Leeds is an amazing city surrounded by beautiful nature. And I'm glad to see that sustainability is one of the core values here in Leeds and TEDxLeedsBeckettUniversity. Yet climate education is so vital that we still need to do it, continue doing it, no matter where we are. Imagine if 1 million people in the world understand about climate change and what climate change is. And imagine if your kids, your parents, your friends and colleagues, your uncle and aunts, or even a stranger you meet on the road understand about climate change and what it's actually really about. And I keep telling myself that I wish that one day when I come back to Vietnam, to Ha Long Bay, there would be no more trash, no more polluted water, and no more coal power plants. It's not too late. Let's spread climate education. Thank you.